Is it data or data?
Data.
Either way, you know you need it, you know you have to tell it, but man alive, data and data can just be boring, right?
72% of you out there agree.
Well, I tell you what, you see what he did there?
Just made that.
We're gonna tell you exactly how to turn that into some amazing stories. Stay with us.
I'm Alex with Your Local Studio, and with me I have Kevin Colby with Kevin Colby Media.
How's it going?
Awesome. I'm excited to have him here talking about data or data.
Data or data?
Turning those into exciting stories, engaging stories, because data can be boring.
Oh my word. And look, we know that you have to have it, and we know that it tells and it fuels things, but probably the worst thing you can do is make your story all about the data.
If you lead with the data, can you actually have your customers and clients engage throughout an entire video?
I'm thinking probably not.
Yeah. Making marketing videos that actually engage, it's really about the stories. We're hardwired to engage with stories because it creates a mental image.
Right.
And when someone can imagine themselves even in this picture, they're more likely to remember you, your product, your company, your business, and then want to buy it and use it later.
Right.
So once you know, okay, we have to be able to tell a story, how do you do that? How do you take a data set, facts, and turn it into stories? The best way is actually focus on how the data affects people.
Okay.
Your end client, your end customer, the person who is going to be using it, and tell their story. So great case is if you can find a customer and do a case study around them, and so then their prospective viewer can imagine themselves in their shoes.
Because that's key. If I can't project myself into that person, even if I don't have the exact same problem, but I have to see myself in them, if I don't do that, I'm just not going to connect.
If they see, 92% out of 1 million people care that this product increases their whatever, I can't connect with that. But if you can show me one person out of that 92%, I can see them and I can connect with them. Now, there are cases where maybe you don't actually have a customer or client that you can specifically say their story or share their story. Maybe you don't have a customer or client yet. This is where you can create a fictitious story that helps explain the large data set to one specific example that they can imagine themselves in.
So here's an example. Let's talk about highway stats. Everywhere has them, how many people have been killed in accidents and things like that. Well, the good folks of New Zealand, whatever the agency is there, they do an amazing job of showing the importance of like not running stop signs and paying attention and slow down and driving slow in the way that they've crafted their commercials. Now, what happens is it just gets you so emotional that they've never, ever mentioned a stat, but you know deep down what you need to do. They're phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
You just visually get in that moment and you can see it and it pulls you in.
Right.
It's amazing what stories can do. There are cases where it just doesn't make sense to talk about a story of a single person. You maybe have a product that you're trying to share data around. This is where a visual analogy can come into play. For instance, if you have a battery that has 72% greater capacity than the previous models, maybe you can show, like this cup here, for instance, is your battery, the old battery. But then you pull out a giant bucket. This is your new battery. Which would you rather? Then you can use that visual analogy that just ingrains in someone's mind, obviously I want the bigger one.
Right.
You can simplify stats and very specific data sets and technical knowledge down to simple visual analogies that help communicate the point and keep it engaging.
So it becomes a creative way of sharing a stat without telling the stat.
Exactly. So really, I kind of wrap up with trying to make boring facts into exciting stories is don't show graphics or charts or stats that way, but show images of real people, real objects, and visual representations of what it is to pull people in and keep them engaged and remember what your business or product is so they'll actually buy it.
So think about this. At the end of the day, it's not about how many people maybe you help. It's about how you help people. And that will be huge for your business.
Have you seen any great examples of where someone created a video turning boring stats into engaging stories? Leave a comment below to that video. We'd love to see it. I'm sure others would too. I hope at least 52% of you do.
If not, then we know what happens.
50%.
You got that dust effect, right?
Yeah.